The full episode is now available on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Please see the link in the description for more details.
So, Dunk and Egg. So the big news here with Dunk and Egg is HBO has reportedly renewed Dunk and Egg for seasons 2 and 3. Each season will consist of 30 to 35 minute episodes. Season 1 is currently set to premiere in early winter of 2026. Now, for a long time when we were discussing Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we were kind of saying, how are they going to fill 6 hours with Night of the Seven Kingdoms? It's not that long of a story.
And I've been saying the entire time, like, they have to do like 20 to 25 minute episodes. So I was kind of on the money there.
So finding out that the episodes are going to be shorter, 30 to 35 minutes, that's definitely going to be an improvement. However, and this brings back to House of the Dragon and how executives see like content. The executives they're thinking about hours, and they're thinking about number of episodes, and they're thinking about season length and things like that. But there's no appreciation in that discussion about where your ending points and starting points of a narrative are. Like in these discussions, when executives are sitting there being like, well, we need to cut back House of the Dragon season 2 to 8 episodes, and they just go, do it. That just destroys all the writers' abilities to end things on a satisfying note, narratively speaking, and pick things up again. Like there are some basic rules to writing about 3-act structure and things like that and ending on cliffhangers and stuff like that these writers have been working out for years. And when you just suddenly shift lengths around because you're only thinking about the number of episodes and the number of minutes and how much streaming time, how many minutes we're going to get in, how many episodes, is it going to cross a month for subscribers? Like these are the things people are thinking about. But where an episode ends and that story beat is really important. And yes, I'm actually very happy to see that the episodes are shorter than we thought they were. But Night of the Seven Kingdoms still is going to have a fundamental problem in that it's 6 episodes, and there simply are not 6 good ending points in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms that make sense.
What was your theory?
There just are not.
That the ending points are going to be like how the comic ends?
So my theory is yes, that there was a comic of the Hedge Knight that came out, and there are 6 issues to that, and so you could just follow the comic's choice of where those endpoints are, and they're not good endpoints. I mean, it's the best the people that did the comic did the best they could. It's a very good comic. It's very good, but there's just no good endpoints. There's no good points. This is not like Bran falling from the tower and being like, boom, next episode, or like Hodor like shutting the door and being like, hold the door, and like ending an episode and being like, boom. Okay, like Hedge Knight is like around the first ending point is, oh surprise, the little boy that you left at the inn has come to your camp and followed you. Like that's it. Like that's that's your big shocker. Boom. Like that's and the next one is like, I'm
looking at it now. Yeah, you're right. It's Dunk sees a fire and he like grabs his sword and shield and he runs over there and he sees it's Egg cooking fish.
Yeah. And so like episode 2, like I think at least issue 3 is just they go to the tourney and then they leave the tourney, like, and they're starting to leave the tourney. They choose that as one of their ending points, and I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't have done that. I would have at least had things end in the middle, like with him intervening on behalf of Tansel or something. As there's a lot of these. It's
points. I hate to break it to you. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you. It's issue 2 ends with the Dondarrion guy explaining to him the story of House Dondarrion and how they got their sigil.
Yeah.
And he goes, every potboy and groom who has ever served my father hears that story sooner or later. Knowing it does not make you a knight. Begone with you, sir. And Dunk's like, and that's how it ends. You're right. There's no good ending point.
There's no good ending points. Okay, you know, and the good ending points they had, they didn't kind of they didn't use them because the third issue ends with them just leaving the tourney, and it should have ended with, you know, him rescuing Tansel Too Tall, or at least intervening on behalf of Tansel Too Tall, you know, but and then you can. There's a lot of them that are just weird, or like the issues. One of them they do okay. They announce that he has to be in a trial by combat, but then the next issue opens with him discovering that it's going to be a trial by 7, which is a much bigger, like better reveal. Like you should have had that at the end, and you know, maybe they could shift these around in the show, but it's still, you can maybe get 2 or 3 of the episodes to have okay endings, but three of the episodes are just going to have just horrible wet blanket endings. There's just no good place to stop.
If they end episode 3 like how issue 3 ends, it's basically them watching a joust. Arryn, am I saying his name wrong? Arryn,
yeah.
Arryn Targaryen. Arryn. He aims for the horse, and it upsets Egg. And it just, like, they walk away, like, having a bad taste in their mouth from the whole situation. Yeah. So that could be a very ominous thing about Arryn, about him being just, like, an awful, awful person. But you're right. Like, they really do have their work cut out for them. But HBO did, ahead of season 1, renew it for seasons 2 and 3. No season 4 though. Interesting. But
right,
HBO
even renews. Though George, I mean that's the joke here that Carmine and I are talking about is there are 3 stories that George has written for Dunk and Egg, the Hedge Knight, the Sworn Sword, and the Mystery Knight, and George for literally 20 years has been saying that he's going to write more short stories. And that he's gonna have like a dozen of them, and none of them have come. And you know, he's even this year he said he was gonna get the Village Hero out and stuff like that. And it's just, well, it doesn't look like it.
He actually said something relating to writing Dunk and Egg a couple days ago. The Hollywood Reporter had a whole article on him renewing and reviving all these cultural things in Santa Fe where he lives. And the entire article is not about Ice and Fire. It's about him, like, you know, reviving all these cultural landmarks. And then, of course, you know, George says the usual, like he says in every interview ever that he's done in, like, the last 6 years. It's like, and of course, I'm still working on Winds of Winter and the Dunk and Egg stories, which is kind of a small update, because before he wouldn't include Dunk and Egg in there, but now he is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he did say earlier this year that he was going to try to do that Village Hero. Well, I'm trying to think. Let me see if I can find that, because he did mention it. But I don't know if I can find it. Don't worry about it then. But I want to say earlier this year he did mention the Village Hero again, which was surprising.
But regardless, this is good news. HBO, clearly they saw something they liked, and they renewed it immediately for seasons 2 and 3, which is good. You know, film this shit back to back while that kid is still young, because oh my god.
Oh, I found it. January 28th, not a blog. January 28th of this year. We're moving on to the Sworn Sword, the second tale of Dunk and Egg, and once I finish the Winds of Winter, I will need to get hopping on the Village Hero and all the other tales that await the lads. Don't worry, I'm sure you folks will remind me. Yeah.
Yes, true, we will.
So the surprise there was that we thought that if he were going to do a Dunk and Egg story, he would do the She-Wolves of Winterfell.
Right.
But to say like, oh, I'm gonna jump on the Village Hero, you're like, oh, that one has priority. Okay. I mean, timeline-wise, it does come before She-Wolves of Winterfell, but you know, so if you're going to do that, you know, you'd throw in Village Hero. But in terms of like closest to completion, I thought She-Wolf's Winterfell would have been it, but I guess not. I don't know. But yeah, I think these execs, like, they don't, when they want to adapt stuff, they don't necessarily think, and they order numbers of episodes. They don't really think about these endpoints, and they leave it to writers who do think about these things and do their best. But then, man, to have somebody like mess with the number of episodes after like it's already been written, man, that would just be fucking horrible. You know, Jesus.
I think we're still in agreement that Dunk and Egg probably should have been a movie.
Absolutely.
So
the story doesn't need 5 breaks. The story doesn't need 5 breaks. Or, you know what? It could have been 2 episodes. I think 2 episodes would have been pretty good because there's a nice break in the middle with regards to the Tansel Too Tall fight. You could have that, and you could have the middle of the story end on the reveal that Egg is a Targaryen prince after the Tansel Too Tall.
No, see,
like, Dunk versus Arryn fight.
Now you're thinking like a fan. You got to think like an executive, because you see, if you have 6 episodes, then that means people have to be subscribed to HBO Max for
at least 2 months.
For at least 3 months, because if they release it at the very end of the month, then they have to be like subscribed for like that month, and
that's true. I can pull 3 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And then the next month, and then the 6th episode will have to like go into the next month after that. So, I
mean, to give it good climax and stuff at the right point and good cliffhangers, I guess I would throw in random Blackfire Rebellion, Last Dragon, maybe some Bloodraven shit or something. Lots of daggers, lots of Catspaw daggers, something. I don't know. But like, I'm just saying, like, you know, what they have right there, the way the comic breaks it up, and keep in mind the comic is very faithful. And when George wrote this story in 1998, he wasn't thinking about it being adapted. Okay, that's not what he was thinking about. When he was writing this in 1998, he was thinking, I've written a Game of Thrones, and that's done okay, but I want to pull in more readers to me because people don't know who I am, and I am in a story collection with Stephen King, so people might go to the bookstore and they might pick up this story collection that has Stephen King in it, and they might read my story, decide that it's really great, and pick up a Game of Thrones and a Clash of Kings, which is going to come out, you know, shortly. Like, that's what was on his mind. He was not thinking, this can be adapted into an HBO show. Okay, so when he was writing things and writing story beats in there, this wasn't in his mind, and so this shouldn't be broken up into 6 pieces.
Hey man, it's a different world now. It's a different George. He's got to make that money. He's got to open up those bars.
Yeah, I know.
The Milk and Poppy bar. He's got to run that movie theater.
Absolutely.
He's got to resurrect the Megalodon and the saber-toothed tiger, whatever he's resurrecting nowadays. He's got a lot of stuff going on. And as for Dunk and Egg, I feel like this is good news. HBO liked what they saw, and they're like, okay, give us seasons 2 and 3. Boom, done.
No, that's great. So, it's great. It's great that it's season 3. Like I said, Dunk and Egg. The Dunk and Egg stories are some of the greatest things that George has ever written. They're fucking fantastic. They're fucking fantastic stories. You have the strength of really good material. I think and now we're finding out that the length is actually like the number of minutes is the right number of minutes. It's fine. 3 hours of entertainment. That seems about right. It's my only problem with it is the fact that it is broken up into 6 pieces. It shouldn't be broken up into 6 pieces, but
we'll see. You know what? If somehow Ira Parker and the writers working on this manage to get it done and do it the right way, then that'll be a testament to how good they are as writers. If they could like somehow make it to where it works out. Because remember, sometimes original scenes and original stuff can be some of the best we've ever seen. Game of Thrones had a multitude of just original moments that stand out. House of the Dragon. I just got roasted by some random person for this. But House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 2. Most of it original, phenomenal episode.